Hello, everybody. How y'all doing? It's EVC and NYC. It's Wednesday. Thank you, Captain Commando Solo, for the bits. Always appreciate you guys' support of the channel. And today we've got a special guest the set we're doing. Usually we do guest the set, and there's new content. We've got no new content this week, of course, because PT24's content cycle is over. But we are getting ready for the launch next week of PT25. OTP25 is coming out, and we thought we'd do a special thing. Is that the $4,200 shirt? No, but it is. I thought I'd put on the nice shirt. You know, kind of get excited. It's party mode. Let's get ready for OTP25, and we thought we'd do a special guess the set. So let's get into it. Let's just, let's get going. Because today you're going to have a chance. Again, we do this every Wednesday at noon. We do Guess the Set. Now, next Wednesday, the beta will be live. We'll just be playing the beta. No Guess the Set next week. But before all the new content comes out, we want to have a chance to guess what's going to be coming out in the content next week at launch. So we're going to go through and figure this out. We're going to go through. I've got a bunch of different things put together. And let's get to it, shall we? I'm excited. I'm excited to kind of do this. It is Guess the Set OOTP25 launch day content. And you have a chance to get in right now. We're going to do this right now. We'll get the link form in there so you can get it. But there's exclamation point guess at any point during the stream. You can go take a look at the form. I'm going to walk through each of the questions and provide you my patented bunk that people oh so enjoy. Or you can be like Gabagool Luigi, fill it all in before you listen to any of my bunk and see if you do any better. It is a lot of multiple choices this time, but a lot of interesting different choices to make. And I'll have some information that I'll provide based on some analysis, my bunk analysis that I'll provide to help you figure out what might be coming in OP25. But I cannot wait. A week from today, we'll be playing the beta. Tonight, 8 o'clock-ish or so, we'll be finding out about the Hall of Fame partnership. Yes, it's a beta on from March 11th. March 11th? Am I doing math wrong? So the 12th. There we go. Today is the 6th. Next Wednesday will be the 13th. Someday, probably late on the 12th, the beta will come out. All your progress will be lost once the game is out on Friday. So it is a beta. Yes, it is a beta to qualify what Don't Cut the D-Block Dragon asked there in the chat, right? So he asked, is it a beta or a pre-release? It's a beta. All your progress will be lost. They'll reset it all on Friday when the game comes out. When the game comes out, to start from scratch again. So we're going to take a look at the game. About last year, looking at the data, about half of the cards were out on the beta, and then we got all the other half on the on the launch day. So we're going to do a guess the set today, but it's going to be based on the content that comes out on the 15th, on launch day, the 15th. Yes, this is a collectible, so we'll have to find a new EVC card here. This is the collectible EVC card from OTP24. We'll need to get a new OTP25 card. I'll be working furiously on that on launch day, among many other things. But that's going to be exciting. Attica Online is here. Good to see you. Attica Online's got a big stream going later tonight. You should go check him out, 8 o'clock. Go follow that man if you can. He's trying to build a whole brand new universe. You can be there on the ground floor. It does sound like a Ponzi scheme when I say it that way. But check him out later tonight. Cubs fan Steve, how you doing? Good to see you, my friend. Great to have you here. And, it's good to see you all in the house. It's Guess the Set day. Guessing the OTP25 content. Glad it's working. Did that link work? Did the link go to the right place? Let me go follow the link and make sure I'm going to the right place, because did I not put the right new link in? No, I'd say it's there. It's the right one. Okay, you had me freaking out there a little bit, Gabby Luigi, as you're to do. No place no form BUP username. Okay, hold on. Because, you know. Oh. One moment, please. You know, this is what happens when you don't copy and paste, right? You just kind of start doing things and you forget to do stuff. Exclamation professional. Exclamation point professional. You know, why would I want your name? I just want your submissions. I don't want to award anybody. Jeez. It is spectacular. The kind of things that I can continue to do without really thinking. So I'm pretty proud of myself. Okay, so this is going to be interesting. You're going to have to make sure you use your OTP25. So I'm going to be doing this. Let's see. Let's do a new question here. Hey, let's go see the full screen present. You can watch me. We can watch me mess around on this. That you will use for OTP25. Short answer. And it always helps me as well. Let's go through another question here. So much bunk! Embezzler, thank you so much for subscribing with your Prime subscription. I truly appreciate that. Whoever responded, I'm going to let you go in again because I have to get the answers updated here. I need to go through and copy this. And we will put that in. Oh, short answer. And we will move this here. And okay. So, if you refresh, we should have your everything in there now. Okay, let's go through and try it again. Because, you know, man, I really thought I was prepared. You would think doing this 242 times, I'd figure this stuff out by now. Okay, guys, tell me if you link on that, and now you can put in your Twitch ID and pass and your OTP ID, please. Let me know. Can anyone confirm that it is working? Rip? Did I do it wrong? Oh. Yeah, and I Nightbot. Man, this is off the rails already. Nightbot. It looks good, except I have the wrong thing in here. You know. Rip. No, guess. Guess the OT25 content released on launch day. You get to see all the fun stuff on launch day, March 15th, 2024. Okay, let's try that one last time. There you go. It's EBC and NYC bringing you the highest quality content you might want to see in the OOTP universe. My apologies to all the other streamers who are much more exclamation point professional than I am. So, it is Guess the Set. We do this every Wednesday, or usually every single Wednesday. We did 40 of them during the OTP 24 cycle. Looking forward to doing them again this year. And we're going to kick off with our launch day content. And again, we're playing Out of the Park Baseball 24, one of the best baseball sim games out there, where you can poll, and we love Perfect Team. And you can pay all these great cards out of packs and make your strategies and play in a league against other people. and you move yourself up the ladder by winning your playoff seasons and going all the way up to Diamond, up to Perfect League. And every Thursday, typically new cards come out. New cards, new players come out every Thursday. But content for PT24 is done. So we're going to guess all the new content in PT25. By the way, if you want to get in on the beta, buy directly from the developers and help them. You save 30%, and they don't have to pay 30% to Steam or Epic or whatever else. So if you're interested in getting the game, get in there now. That's the link there where you can go through and buy OTP25. You can pre-order it now. You'll get some extra packs when you do the order during this initial cycle. Of course, you can also buy on Steam. If you're going to buy on Steam, please go through and pre-order it now. Not pre-order, but wishlist it, as they say, in the Steam world. But I really haven't found any problem in downloading the latest versions of the game. It doesn't take that long to download and move forward with it throughout the cycle. And I know Steam does it automatically, but I think it's worth me doing a little effort so that developers can get their full 100% of the revenues instead of sharing it with the platform. But that's just me. So it's launching March 15th. Let's get into Guess the Set and what we're doing today. Again, you've got a form in there. We showed off the form. All the details are there. We're going to be going through each of the questions with some, bunk, some information. As Fussmarker said, can you believe this bunk? Wary OOTP players, tune in to weekly Misinfo Twitch session by hat-wearing Dodger fan. Again, I do wear hats from time to time if people use channel points. And I don't know if any hat really goes with this specific shirt, but there you go. Let's get this bunk train going. The first question on the form is, how many historical perfects? Gotta have that bunk. That's right. I didn't do the right thing. So, this is what we had in PT24. There were 2,459 cards at launch at PT24. About half of those came out during the beta period, so you could get a glimpse at some of those, and the rest were on launch day. You'll see only 1.5% of all the cards were perfects. Just under 5% were diamonds, 10% were gold, 21% silver, bronze, and a hunkin' 38% of them were iron cards. So you get to start your iron tourney squads. Although I was thinking about that, maybe it's better to start a gold tourney squad because there are fewer choices that are going to make the meta. It's going to be more expensive, but anyway, interesting thing like that. That's how many perfect historical perfects at launch. So 1.5% of 2459. Let's break that down and taking a look at it a little bit more granularly. And there were 45 historical perfects last year, 15 live perfects. So that gives you a certain feel. You'll see that irons had, the most, as we said, but the difference between historicals and lives, you'll see the lives definitely had a little bit more silvers and bronzes, and then a chunk of irons finished it off, and the lives had a smattering of 15 perfects, 48 diamonds, and 106 golds. So when you're going through, you can put 45, but you don't know what you're going to have year to year, right? So there were, again, 45 historical perfects last year. Will we get a similar number this year? You got to hit the nail on the head on this one, on this question. So how many historical perfects will there be at launch? You get that right, you get a point. Most points has a chance to win 20 PT25 packs. Again, make sure you get your ID on there so I can actually gift you the proper the PT25 packs. So, kind of fun. Got that one? Okay, also don't forget to put your name on the form because we've had some issues in the past where people have submitted stuff. So, name a historical perfect dropping at launch. So here you have to go through and just go out on a limb and guess what historical perfect we're going to get at launch. And again, there were several historical perfects last year. There were several tournament edition cards. The notorious Bobby Dewar in that set. Joe Barry was really big. There was the Roy Campanella, which ended up being a blocker for the Jackie Robinson. mission at one point. The original initial Willie Mays. The Notorious Bob. Get your Bob emotes in. The Notorious Bob. Don't worry, we'll be doing Bobs as well. So several different Tourney Edition cards were available at launch, but you had to earn them. Thank you, Machia Pet. Again, Bob, if you're new here, we've got some theme teams of people. Wiz Nation, how you doing? People who just, her name's Bob. And so we always like to bring out the Bobs of Tisweegee's Bob Cage and Bobs. We had the Mission Edition Ken Caminiti, which everyone quick sold. We got the Kevin Brown Term Edition. I'm not sure why that Term Edition, I guess this is, I don't even know what order this is, so who knows. Kevin Brown and Bartolo Colon, again another notorious, not a notorious Bob, but a notorious card. That was not great. The Mission Edition, Johan Santana for finishing the live missions. So not a lot of packables yet in this, right? If you look at the packables, not a ton of packables starting off that were available. Here's where your packables are. Harry Heilman, which I got. One that you saw that screen grab I showed before, PT24. That was the Harry Heilman I got. Joe Mauer, Josh Hamilton, Paul O'Neill, Richard Hidalgo, which I did pull one of those this year. A Ben Sheets, which I did not. Also a notoriously underperforming perfect card. The Mike Napoli, Mark Fidrich, also horrible P-Babbitt before we knew what P-Babbitt was. Dan Plezak, Dylan Patansis, Pat Neshek, Ross Barnes, and we got a much better perfect Ross Barnes later in the cycle. Gus Waying, Jesse Tannehill, Jack Sesmo. So these legends were pretty awesome. The Addy Joss was definitely a card that could play a long time. Yeah, those early cards with P-Babbitt were a rude awakening and something that Spore said took him, he didn't realize it was going to be that much of a thing early on when he was doing the cycle. So Boog Powell, Dave Concepcion, and Tim Raines, part of the opening day set of perfects last year. Oh, don't forget Will Clark, Mike Messina, Robin Ventura, Tony Phillips, and rookie sensation Albert Pujols, which I believe that was the okay one, but we had a tournament Albert Pujols that came out, I think, at Tourney Bats 2, which became a better one, if I remember correctly. But I don't always remember correctly because, aging and shit. Stuff. Excuse me. So, yes, the number of cards last year were 2,450 something, which I'll show again in a bit. I'd have to go back here. I can do that. This is the bad thing of doing build. There were 2,459 cards last year. 2,459 cards. Don't worry, we'll be doing math a little bit later. There's more math later on. Gorgo, how you doing? We'll be doing the math for the tiebreakers that are later on in this. So hang in there. That's why this is the stream along with the forum, giving you a chance to win. If you're here, you're doing this, you get a chance, a little bit better chance than other people, maybe to fill up this forum and win. Again, we're doing guess the set here. Yes, the day one historicals were not great. They were not. So the second question, the interesting thing, the second question is, there were 11 MLB teams that did not get a historical perfect in PT24. And so the question is, who will get snubbed again in PT25? Is it? I can click on things. Is it the Arizona Diamondbacks? Is it the Braves? The Cubs? The Guardians or Cleveland? It's the Cleveland or the Guardians or the Indians. Either one. Take your pick. The Royals, the Angels, the Dodgers, the Marlins, Mets, Mariners, or Blue Jays. So, you know your Reds will not be there if there's any justice in this world, so that's the thing. Maybe you don't, if you're doing a franchise theme team, maybe you don't want your team to have a historical perfect at launch. Because of all the different cards you get over the cycle, they're going to be probably the lowest level. They'll be great early on, but over time, they're not going to be so great. So, it's one of those things, like the cycle power increases, the batting BABIP increases, the pitching improves with better control and better P-BABIP. So Which of these teams will get snubbed yet again in 2025? We're talking perfects at launch. Yes. Which teams will not get a historical perfect in PT24? So that's what this question specifically is. And again, let's make sure. So the question we have here is, which one of these current 30 Major League Baseball teams did not get a historical in PT24 will again not get a historical in PT25, right? So that's where we are in the form. You can go through here and see which one of these teams do you think will not get a card on launch for a historical perfect yet again. Okay? So that's that one. Again, get in on Guess a Set. We're just kind of going through each of the questions. If you're just dropping in and finding out, we're guessing the launch content for perfect team in OTP 25. Let's move on through I messed this up. I want to make this more make it more dramatic. There are several streamers who have some favorite cards. And you just have to say, will the streamer get their favorite card on launch day or not? Ukraine Kazmani does our baseball bingo on Saturday nights, loves Mike Lowell, if you don't know this. It's almost memeable. So will we get a Ukraine's Mike Lowell? Historical means not live, correct. Historical means not live. Generally, when I'm talking about historical cards, I'm talking about not live cards, because there's several live cards, right? So there will be live perfects for some of these teams, but there were not any historical perfects for these teams. So just, go through and make sure that you're looking about it historically. There will be perfect cards for some of these teams. The Dodgers will likely have a perfect card based on MVP voting last year. They may have a couple. So will Laptop Hound get a Dave Stieb? Will Ezra Denny get a Leon Wagner on day one? Chia Pet asked, and yes, will Mr. Audit get a Jody Reed on day one? Will Gabagoo Luigi get a Ray Ordonez? And will Cubs fan 23 Steve get his Ryan Sandberg? Again, shout out to Cubs fan Steve and Gabagoo Luigi, my two longest subscribers on the channel. Devoted Cubs fan and Gabagoo Luigi. Why not a 69? So will these guys get their favorite players at launch? You can figure out, if you get it right, you get a point. If you get it wrong, no points. So you have up to 9 points here. Is that what you're looking for, Minerva? It's good to know for next time. Of course, Don't Get the D-Block Dragon loves his Johnny Dick shot. Will we get a Johnny Dick shot at launch? Will I get a Fernando Valenzuela at launch? I'm hoping no. And will Cavacom get an Eric Hinsky? So again, if you guys don't know, by the way, if you don't know, Don't Get the D-Block Dragon has now become an affiliate. He has now become an affiliate. So congratulations to Don't Cut the D-Block Dragon. Can I do this? I can't do, it is a thing. Go check him out. I Don't Cut the D-Block. It's a lot of typing. Your name is really long. Anyway, go check him out. He's on Sunday mornings, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. If you're looking for some drops to start your day before you head out on a day of revelry on Saturday on your weekend, you can get some drops early in the morning. Go check out Don't Get the D-Block Dragon. Now with drops. So, and we'll see if Cavacom. You can't play Dirk Commissar for royalty reasons. That's right. But if I can find a 10-bit version that I can get, if I can find some royalty-free stuff, I'll be glad to play it whenever Don't Get the D-Block Dragon comes on. So that's the section questions there. You'll see that here down here on the form. Oh, I did say you have to guess a historical player at historical perfect card at launch. So not lives. People did ask that. I'm just going to make sure that's clarified. Not lives. But this is you just have to put yes or no. See, it's so easy. It's multiple choice. Get in on it. Get on the forum. We'll get some more submissions in. Let's go back and go through some more. Great to see you. Gorgo, how you doing, man? I saw you in here. Minerva. It's great to see everyone around. But get in on your chance to win some packs for PT25. Again, we're going to go through the questions. I'll go through our tiebreakers a little bit below. This is going to remain open until Monday around 6 p.m. I want to make sure it's all closed before Spore starts showing off anything about Perfect Team. And 1 entry per person. And we'll announce the winners on the Saturday, March 16th, 11 a.m. stream after the launch comes out on the 15th. I can go through, chug, see who won, grading papers as Laptop Hound would do. Mob your Bob! Again, stealing from Tsuiji, his Bob Cage and Bob's, all players named Bob theme team. Name a player with a first name Bob that gets a card at launch. So here are some of the Bobs. Make sure I did this right, because, what player with the first name of Bob, Robert doesn't count, Bobby is okay, do you think we'll get at launch? So, yes, Bobs. Thank you, Minerva. So the Bobs, again, our subscribers, thank you for putting Bobs in there. Bob Allison got a 92. Bob Serve, Bob Lemon, Bob Ferguson, Bob Watson, Bob Feller, Bob Apodaca, Bob Walk, Bob Baylor, Bob Gibson, Bob Buell, Bob Perky. So we had everything from 51 up to 92 in the Bobs. No below 50 Bobs. Bob Baylor. Bob Bailey? I don't know Bob Bailey. So, this is just some fun Bobitude. Okay? We're looking for a player named Bob, and it should be a historical card. Did I say that? I didn't. What historical player? Man. Exclamation point professional. Rob Deere in the Headlights, if you would like to whisper me a change, if you've submitted already and like to whisper me a change, I'll go back to people who put live Bobs in. But it should be a historical Bob. Not a live Bob. No professionalism here. I spent some time putting this together too. You'd think I'd have this stuff figured out. But wording is important in these questions. I need an auditor. Obviously. So if you whisper me your changes, if you put a live Bob in, whisper me your changes with your historical Bob. And I'll try to reach out to people who, in the first 9 entries that we got. See, this is why you don't want to enter right away. I need something. Hey, Sean Sull, how you doing? Bob Bailey did play for my Dodgers. There you go. So, again, it's exclamation point guess. If you're just joining in here like Sean Sull, we're doing Guess the Content for PT25. I'm going through question by question. Let's make sure. So these are the Bobs, historical Bobs we got last year. We have to get some different historical Bobs this year. I know. Where is Mr. Audit? Okay. So we've got some live cards coming. And with the live cards coming, the brand new Players in the League, what rating will they get? From 40 to 100, what do you think they're going to get? So let's go take a look at some of the new cards coming in. Of course, Yamamoto, what's it going to get? Anywhere from 40 to 100. Now, the interesting thing is I went through and tried to figure out, like, where is he in different rankings, etc. And lo and behold, guess who writes for Fangraphs and did the pitcher fantasy rankings this year? Yeah, our own Paul Sporer. The content director. Attica, I might do that. So Paul Spohr, our content director at OOTP, did the fantasy rankings. Is it possible that his fantasy rankings could give you an inkling about what his overall rating might be on the card? It's EVC and NYC bringing the sounds of New York City, including this wonderful siren. Thank you. The extra little honking on the end of the horn there is just the piece of resistance. It's EVC and NYC bringing the sounds of New York City. Luckily enough, the sounds. Thank you so much for the follow. Who knows 33? Good to have you here, my friend. Again, we're getting ready for OOTP 25. We're guessing some of the content that might be coming out. And yes, the sounds of New York City. They never get old. So if Paul Spohr has already done the pitching ratings, does that give us any kind of insight into the overall ratings? So he was not in the top 10 pitchers on the rankings. Yamamoto was number 16. But Paul, I feel like, have you seen him pitch? I feel like you should give him a little bit more juice than that. Again, it's going to be fascinating to see what the ratings would be. No one really knows what Yamamoto is going to totally look like. They have some stuff. Now, if you subscribe to The Athletic, he's definitely a top 10, maybe a top 7 pitcher if by Eno Sarris's Stuff Plus ratings. But again, projections on him are hard to tell. He looked very good in his start in spring so far. And it was fascinating. I don't know if you watched his start, but he pretty much, like, even before the game started, he was in the dugout with his glove on and just kind of going through the pitching motions and in between innings going through the pitching motions. When there were 2 outs, when the second out happened, he stood up in the dugout and kind of like just, again, practicing what his pitching was going to be like. Skubal ahead of Yamamoto, Fried, and Nola. Is there some Tiger bias? Skubal also is very high on the other rankings I've seen as well. So Skubal had a really great end of the last season last year. I think Skubal will be good. You can't call out any Homer Detroit fandom there. But, yeah, I mean, Glasnow, Bobby Miller above Yamamoto as well. Very, very interesting to see how that all works. Again, cross your fingers. Everyone stays healthy. But, where do you think he's going to be in the overall scale? Will he be a 100 live card? Will he be a, high diamond, 96, 97, 98? You make the call. Got to get it right to get the point. So, figure that one out. 57. Hines, 57. Another brand new pitcher, Shota Amanga. Listed in Spohr's solid veteran section at, where is he? Where is he? I thought I got the right one. Oh, there he is. Number 67. Yeah, I know you VM cats. Don't hate me. You don't think he's top 20? I don't know, man. Everyone that people's looked at, the WBC information had the tracking that people use for like Stuff Plus analysis, etc. And again, this is fantasy baseball. This is not real life baseball, but it's kind of a thing. And you can see that people are spending $27 for him versus Grayson Rodriguez, $13, right? And Bobby Miller's only getting $11 spent on him in drafts. So I think the dollar amount tells you that he's a top 10 type player based on what everyone's drafting him. At least that's what they're drafting him like, which is interesting. Shota Amanga with the Cubs starting off. Yeah, I'm just seeing how many live perfect Dodgers we have. Last year, the most was 3 per team. That is correct. We had three teams with 3 perfects, 3 historical perfects. I'm not sure about live perfects. And we had only 15 live perfects last year. So yeah, doing a Dodgers theme team is kind of a pain. Someone on this list. So you have to get where is it. So on this list, you've got everything from the Verlander's going to start the season in the DL. You got Eduardo Rodriguez, who had a good season in Detroit. How many live perfect A's at launch? 0. That was too easy a question. It's not on the form. Lucas Giolito getting a second opinion before he goes under the knife, but looks like he's done. I noticed that the dollar amount here is minus $2, which I find entertaining. And I also see Lugo and Waka getting minus $5 and minus $7 in Kansas City. That seems unfair. That seems just unjust. Like, put a rain, Sport putting rain on Kansas City's parade. What can I tell you? So you have to guess, what's it going to be for Amanga? What's his live rating? This one's a tougher one. Is he a silver? Is he on the lower edge of gold? So you got to put it in a rating. If you get it right, you get a point. If you don't, 0 points. 58, says Rob, you're in the headlights. One more than Yamamoto. Finally, brand new player, Jung-Ho Lee, ranked in the top 187 as a very high average. Looks like he had a negative 28 drop in the change. Average depth and rate and drafts, 258th in fantasy drafts. But going to be batting leadoff. I would think so, Minerva. I don't think anyone higher than him from a rating standpoint. Bobby Witt Jr. But what's he going to be at launch? Will he be a silver? Will he be down in bronze? Again, brand new signing for the San Francisco Giants. There's no real history in the league to work on. So I picked 3 players that are coming in from overseas that have not played in the major leagues. It's going to be more interesting to kind of figure out what their overall rating is going to be. And yes, this is very fair. This is why it's called a bunk stream. It does not account for defense, which is one of his big things. Jung-Ho Lee is going to be playing center field for the San Francisco Giants. He's not a power hitter. And that defense is going to definitely move his rankings up. So, very well stated, Nafugget. This is not exactly where you should be doing your rankings of these players. Again, just a little of my shoddy work, or bunk, as you may say, in giving you some ideas of what to rank these guys. Is it going to be a gold because he's going to have stellar defense in center field? Will you even get a low diamond because of stellar defense? Roger headlights going up. 59. Roger headlights, whatever I do next, you're going to put 60 in, right? So again, these are the 3 you need to guess their live rankings. What will they get at launch? Yamamoto, Amanga, and Lee. What are they going to get at launch in the ratings? And again, the Sport didn't do this one. Jeff Zimmer did this one. And again, it does not include defense in this because fantasy doesn't really play with defense on their players. And that's why, OTP is just such a superior thing to fantasy baseball. You're getting to play with the real defense on stuff. Okay. So that was these 3 questions here. What are the overall rating, 40 to 100, for these 3 players? Now, what will be the oldest card that comes out on launch date? And what I mean oldest is like by year. What's the oldest year? How many years ago? So let's go take a look at that. Again, if you're trying to get on the forum, if you're just joining us, we're doing Guess the Set for PT25. Your chance to win some packs for PT25 will award after launch of PT25 in OP25 coming out March 15th. There is a link to the forum right there. You think MLB pipeline isn't the best? Yeah, for valuing prospects for Dynasty Fantasy. Yep, defense is kind of a thing. Again, if you want to get in the game, you want to play this game, you can buy 25 directly from the developers right there, or you can wish list it on Steam. Coming out March 15th. If you buy direct, you'll have access to the beta on March 12th. Nice. Nice, Attica. I've been playing fantasy baseball since 1991. When you had to, get the stats from USA Today, stick it in Lotus 123, and do the stats once a week. And trades, you traded all the stats for the entire season because it was too hard to do before and after when you traded a player. So it was basically, you just traded all the stats you'd got accumulated in that first. It was nuts. So oldest card on launch day. What is it going to be? So in PT24, again, this was the year distribution, year on the card, or year on the card in the database. If it says a peak card, you can see in the card database, which you can download from the auction house or the card shop. You can download the entire list, and from that you can see the actual year, even though it's a peak card. So every card has a year associated with it. And based on that year, you can see that we had a slew of players over the last 20 years or so. 1066, Stephen Langton. No, 1873 was our oldest card. We had 4 or 5 players before 1881 that were at launch. The most players look like 2011. We had 33 players or so in 2011 from the 2011 season. And again, there's been talk about, if you listen to the OTP podcast between Spore and Rich, they talked about maybe, celebrating the last 25 years of OTP, that era is going to have a lot more influence potentially in what they do in some of the sets and some of the cards. People and players are going to talk about over the 25 years that OTP has been in existence, since 2000, if I'm correct. I can't do math. I really can't. I think I screwed that up already. Well, we'll do it as the oldest card launch day. Again, the 1880 was Tom Burns at shortstop, an iron card. 1879, Sadie Houck. Bob Ferguson was a very nice kind of infield defensive player you could get early on in silver. 1878. 1877 is Deacon White. I thought about doing a Deacon's dozen, all players with the name Deacon or teammates of Deacon, but I just like the alliteration, honestly. And then Ross Barnes. Again, we got Ross Barnes much later in the cycle. This was a peak Ross Barnes. We later got a more sparkly, peakier Barnes in the game. So Ross Barnes was a launch day second baseman that you could get in packs. And he was the oldest card, 1873. So you need to figure out what year you want to put in the card. And again, you got to get it right. Could be 1870, 1871, I think, were the first years of baseball. I didn't look at all the years this year to see what the oldest card is. Has anyone... Let's look in the game. Can we figure this out? It may not work because of peak cards, but we can go take a look at the game, right? And figure out what the oldest card in the game is right now. Let's go look. Guess EVC and NYC bringing you our Guess the Set, Guess the Content for PT24. Thank you again for the Whispers, Minerva, and Rubber in the Headlights. I'll be getting your selection later for that. Historical Bobs instead of live Bobs. And let's go into the card shop here. And do we have an 1870? No. So the oldest card in the game looks like 1876. Ross Barnes, Paul Hines, John Peters, Jack Manning, John Clapp. And then some 1877s, 1878s, 1879. So will we get an 1876 at launch? Do you feel lucky? Punk? Again, I will be looking at the actual year on the card in the database. So even though the cards in the game were 1870, whatever, let's go. Can we find that in the game? Let me go through here. Because again, this was 1873, right? I know. I'm sorry. That's not nice. Let me go back here. Let's look for the Barnes. So this is the peak Barnes, and you can see here on the card 1873. Right? So if I look at peak cards, can I do this? Peak P-E-A-K. Right, and we're looking for some oldies. Cy Young, 1907. Weighing, 1892. So 1892 looks like one of the oldest cards in the game right now. Monte Ward, I think, was later. 1892 for Monte Ward. Jesse Tannehill. 1899. Order Schaefer. 1878. So again, whatever is the oldest. Looks like the oldest I've seen so far is 1872. Yeah, I did year. The only problem with year is it doesn't show the peak cards. Right? These are the 1870s. There are no 1860s. So, but none of the 1870s with a year on the card are prior to 1876. And there are in 1873 and 1872 in the peak cards. So you got to also download and look in peaks as well. So that's, again, something that we are asking. What is the oldest card in the game? And what will be the oldest card on launch day? Okay, let's go through. The next thing is, how many historical Tigers at launch? So, again, these are all the number of cards at launch last year by franchise. And, again, there are 5 franchises that have kept their name pretty much for a lot of it. Which will be... Fussmucker. Great question. Which number will be higher? The year of the oldest card, 1870-something, or the number of historical Tigers released at launch? So historical last year, again, you expect these franchises, the Reds, the Pirates, the Yankees, the Cardinals, the Tigers, they've been that name forever. Cleveland, although they had a couple different name changes in there. Boston Red Sox, Chicago Cubs had a couple different name changes in their franchises. So you can see last year we had about 62 or so historical Detroit Tigers. And we had 77, I think, Cincinnati Reds, mid-70s for the Pirates and the Yankees and the Cardinals right there. So those 4 franchises definitely had more cards. There you go. Tigers have been around for 125 years. Don't want to hear it. I know. It's just a fun dig. It's a meme. It's a meme vote. But it's a question. It's an interesting question. How many historical Tigers will we have at launch? And you see, you're not in. It's not the most, Spore, so you don't have to be defensive. Root for a richer franchise. PT25, 1 team released each week, and other than prime numbers, we add more Tigers. There you go. So I think it's going to be an interesting thing to look at and what you have. If you take a franchise like the LA Dodgers are there, but then you add the Brooklyn Dodgers number on top of it, it's right there with the Tigers, right, as far as the number of different cards. And Pittsburgh, yeah, Pittsburgh has been there forever. So, anyway, just the interesting, fun stuff. How many historical Tigers will we have at launch? And then I think the next on the form is, again, I just thought we'd have just more Spore. And guess the historical Tiger that you expect to be in the game. So any Tiger, guess an historical Tiger that you think will be in the game at launch on March 15th, right? Not alive, a historical Tiger. Yeah, what are you going to do about Bob? What about Bob, Attica? What about Bob? You think you gave the Rockies a good bit of love with the launch deck, particularly by trying to highlight their rare good pitchers. Saying anecdotally. So, there you go. Rockies, let's see, where's Colorado here? Colorado Rockies, better than the Montreal Expos. Although the Montreal Expos did get 3 historical perfects last year, which I thought was fascinating. Of course, the California Angels are also the Los Angeles Angels, which is always confusing. Yeah. Expos rule. Expos rule. I think it was Gullickson, Tim Raines, and I can't think of, was it Bartolo Colon was the other Expo? I'm trying to remember my 3 historical Expos at launch. But how many historical tigers, and then name an historical tiger that we're going to get at launch. If you get it right, if whatever historical tiger you put in there at launch that we get, I will go through and give you a point if they're in the launch deck. So I'm looking forward to trolling through and searching to make sure that player's there. It has to have Detroit Tiger on the card, of course. Yogi is full of antidotes and antioxidants, I think, too, Fussmucker. Antioxidants? I don't know. So again, we had 63 cards that were historical at launch and 2 perfects. Only 2 historical tigers at launch, right? There were 3 Expos, 3 historical Cardinals, I think. Only 2 perfects. But our 2 perfects for the Tigers at launch were Mark Fedrich and Harry Heilman. So maybe they might get a card at launch. Who knows? So guess your historical Tiger. And get in this form. Stupid P. Babbitt. I know. Who knew that was a thing? Whoa, what is that? What did I just do? Guess the set, everyone, and join in the forum. If you got a chance to win some packs for PT25, we're trying to guess the OOTP25 content that's going to be live at launch. Make sure you go out and buy the game so you can get in and take an early look. We'll see who the leaders are after the beta comes out. And make sure you follow Spore. He's going to be online on Monday, this coming Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, giving us all the fun and excitement that is going to be PT25. I cannot wait. But you got to get your forms in before Spore goes live. Spore, you feeling better? Hope you're feeling better, my friend. I know you're a little bit under the weather. Rocking through it as we get close to launch day, I know. But go check him out. And again, get in on the forum. It says multiple choice for the most part with a couple fill-ins. You can do this. It's not too hard. But go check out Spore as well on his channel. Let's keep on rolling through. Our next question is a bunk question, as I like to say. This is the bunk part. And you have to guess which is the bunkiest statement. So these are my shots. I'm calling my shots here for the PT launch content. PT25 launch content. And again, thanks to Fussmucker. Wary OTP players, tune in weekly. In a weekly misinfo Twitch session by hat-wearing Dodger fan. And who knew I got caught on with all these bunks? So much bunk. I'm going to say 2 or fewer of the snub PT24 teams will get a historical perfect at PT25. So 0, 1, or 2. That's probably a pretty safe bet that some of those cards might get a historical perfect in PT25. But I could be wrong. My second pick is 3 or more of the 9 streamers community will at least have a card at launch in PT25. So you saw the list, right? I'm saying in this group over here, 3 or more of these cards, Ryan Sandberg, Dick Schott, Valenzuela, Ordonez, Reed, Leon Wagner, Steve, or Mike Lowell will be in at launch. So is that bunk? I'm going to say that 2 of the Bobs shown shown above at launch in PT24 will have a card at launch in PT25. So again, I showed it a little bit earlier. I don't have it here, but I showed a bunch of Bobs. How many of the Bobs that we had in PT24 at launch will also have a Bob, Bob at launch in PT25? I say 2. I say 2. And then Yamamoto will get a high diamond live card at launch in PT25. So which of those is the least likely to happen? Yo, Dr. Bob's going to take your guesses more seriously now that you've got PT25. Welcome into the jungle. Glad to have you in, Yo Dodger Bob, playing PT25. The beta, yes, Gorgo. The beta starts on Tuesday, March 12th. So looking at chat real quick here. On Tuesday, March 12th, that's when the beta begins. And so those that have purchased directly from OTP will be able to start playing around in the game, check out some of the cards that are there. Usually only about half of the cards that you're going to have at launch are out at that time. And then everything gets wiped out on the night of the 14th. On the 15th, the game starts live, and you'll have packs to open again and everything else. So that's plan your Friday off. The beta in the past usually has come in late afternoon on that Tuesday, so they got to make sure everything's working. So go check out that. You can do some stuff in the morning, but Tuesday afternoon. Let's see. How about we get to build a backup set? Collect a bunch of career utility guys. Wait a second. Guys who have played every position. Oh, I like that. With the Zobrist reward. Zobrist topper. I like that. Jose Kendo topper instead. Denny Hawking, IKF, Lance Blankenship. So, very cool. Nice. Halter, Holt. All your Fridays are off. I know the feeling, Gorgo. From a rewards perspective, it makes more sense to buy during the beta, right? KK Fritz, what do you mean by rewards? No purchases. There are no purchases of perfect points. None of that stuff is live, or anything you do is going to just get reset. And I believe that's how that works. Yeah, they will launch some special packs, but I think it will be at launch. I think you'll get some just starter packs and random packs at launch. I don't think you're going to see the actual the 25th anniversary packs at launch based on during the beta period, based on past experience. There'll also be some fake missions that'll be in there. They will not be the actual missions during the beta period. That's typically what they've done. They just want to make sure everything's working. So you shouldn't have to, I don't think you make any purchases. Or if you did purchase something and you purchased cards, all those purchases are returned. It's all wiped out and started over fresh come Friday morning, March 15th. So yes, we'll get special launch packs during launch week that are going to be very fun. Anything else? Let's see. What else are we going through? So that is it for Guess the Set. Again, get yourself in there. Again, I hope that all made sense. If you have any questions, let me know. You don't have an advantage building stuff in beta. I will say this. In beta, you can kind of play around and see, again, you get a little bit of a feel for about half the cards. Right? And so you can see some of the cards are out there, but you're going to get, it's only half the cards. Yes, thank you, KK Fitch, for the qualification. If you buy during launch week, there are special packs. We could go right now. Let's go take a look in the buy 25 link right there. I think I can go through and do this. Let's go through and see if I can do this. Buy 25. Right. You're getting it at a discount. And these are what you're getting. Gold pack, diamond pack, and a 25th anniversary pack if you buy during launch week. So these are the key things that you're going to be able to get in these bonuses that you will not get if you wait till week 2 or week 3. I'm very excited to look at the packs. Look at the gold pack. Who's that? There's a Dodger on the card, number 50. Looks like Mookie Betts is going to be on the card art. If this is, these are just facsimiles. Mookie Betts, and it looks like Zach Gallen, an all NL West, even though the Rangers won the World Series. I'm impressed. And the 25th anniversary pack, which we have no idea what it is yet. Speaking of missions, I got 3 completed this morning. Congratulations, Gorgo. You got the Immortal Seasons Lou Whitaker, Yount, and Ricky. Very nice. Very nice. Keep on rolling, Gorgo. So yeah, we got the Hall of Fame. The conversation about the Hall of Fame is happening tonight at 8 o'clock on the mothership, and some of the new things. But yeah, these are. I'm looking and look at the new pack screen is going to be really interesting. Love seeing the PBABIP on the cards. You can get a feel. These are not the actual ratings. Things will change. I'd be impressed if Gavin Lux launched with 100 PBABIP, or excuse me, BABIP. You beat me round one. Yeah, this is going to be much better, right? As a screen, this is going to be so nice. I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, it's going to make launching interesting. I guess they'll flip. We'll see if we get confetti in the rating. No ratings are final until the game releases. That includes slides I show next week. I'm super excited. I just want to see a healthy Lux too. I agree. It would be nice to see him healthy, and I feel like he's still very tentative. I feel like there's so much pressure on him to perform well at shortstop, and I worry he's got like the Vargas, like Vargas last year, trying to do well and just putting so much pressure on himself this spring. But we'll see how it all comes out. It's happening soon. We still don't have Snell or Montgomery signing with teams. It is an interesting thing, right? Of thinking through Snell and Montgomery. Now with the injuries of Giolito and the Cardinals getting some injuries in their pitching staff. Are there more suitors beyond the Giants? When you select next pack, it should be just like usually. You have the cards, and then they probably, some turn up, and then others flip if you got that turned on. Votto's still unsigned. Yeah, JD Martinez still unsigned. So, gonna be kind of fun to see what happens. Oh, select next pack. Oh, this allows you to go through and maybe choose a perfect pack or a silver pack. Ooh. Ooh, instead of just going in order, you get to choose which one. Instead of having to go back, close out, open the screen, hunt for it in the list. Excellent. This is so cool. Just hanging out with you guys. We can see some big changes just here. This is going to be great. I am very excited to see this. Yeah, having to line up with your cursor like over each pack and try to find the right one to open just that one. Now you'll be able to just select which one you want to do. And I'm assuming you could go in order, but this is huge. There you go. A little glimpse on some of the new stuff coming in PT25, some quality of life things, which is always nice to see every year. I mean, remember the original auction house where you had to put in and everyone just listed all their stuff and it was separate line items, so there were like 15 Willie McCoveys in the store at once instead of having just one universal one and everyone's putting their bids on one. Oh, what a nightmare. So yeah, this is a lot more fun. And I can see a lot of different streams, especially when you're doing like laptop does the roll and see what's going to happen. Yeah, that was so brutal back then. I think it was PT22 that had that. So some fun stuff coming. So yeah, you can open next pack or you can select the next pack. There's your choice. Love it. Love it. Fun stuff coming in PT25. Again, make sure you get in there. This is the link. Buy 25 if you haven't yet. You get those extra packs we talked about. And again, you have a chance to win packs. Again, we're doing the guess the set. So there is the link, the form. I did some math earlier. If you missed the math, you can go back and check out the VOD for it. And you can find some of the math. Oh, I didn't finish all the math. I got more things beyond my bunk. I totally forgot. The tiebreaker. Are you talking about the Garland picture? Oh, I like the digitization of it. That's kind of interesting. The pixelization, excuse me. This is a historical. This is an all-time legend. But again, different eras are going to have different art probably. Yeah, the 2000s, I can see the 2000s being this kind of like pixelated art, which is kind of cool. So some new art concepts coming through, as well as what you're seeing now. Again, you get the picture day picture that they use for a lot of these photos, and then you can kind of see the grayscale lightly above it. Again, the color is going to probably change. But what the tiebreaker number one? If we have some need of tiebreakers, I've come up with a couple tiebreaker questions. What percentage of historical cards at launch will be from OOTP's 25 years, 2000 to 2024? No, not 247%. So let's do the math. There were 1,461 historical cards in PT24. 419 of those historical cards were in the 25 years from 1999 to 2022. So that ended up being 28.7% of the historical cards that were launched in PT24 coming from the years, for the last 25 years. So that is a rough number. That is a rough number that you can use for your tiebreaker. Again, make sure you get it down to the decimal point on this. Making sure you get down to the decimal point. So here we are down here, like 50.2%, right? Closest without going over wins the tiebreaker. Okay, so we've done the math, 28.7%. And then the last tiebreaker is, what is going to be the highest rating of a Bob or Bobby on launch day? Last year, our highest Bob was a 92 overall. Will we get a perfect Bob Gibson on launch day? Will we get a perfect Bob Feller on launch day? Will we get something at a high diamond that's a Bob? So, you think the highest Bob we're going to get is a 61 next year, Rob Deer in Headlights? You've done very good. You've gone 57, 58, 59, 60, and 61, I think, in your answers. So you're definitely in that low, high iron to low bronze stuff. I agree. Some of those colors were bad for everybody. You just skip 60. Okay. What do you got against 60? Ellie card for his opening day no-hitter is what Embezzler's predicting. So that could be the Bob on opening day. We'll see what cards are in the game at launch. Those are your two tiebreakers. Again, get in, get your form filled out. You've got now all the information, or all the bunk. Wiz Nation, thank you for the cheer and the bit. I appreciate it. Every little bit is awesome. Yeah, I couldn't read it at all at the beginning. I definitely gave a little bit of feedback during beta that was not my favorite. Ellie Cruz, Gorgo's saying. There you go. So get in there. Again, I'm going to keep this open until about 6 o'clock on Monday. Or if anything gets spilled, any content gets spilled that may impact this, then I will close off the form earlier. Also, if you happen to be a player who had access to the beta testers, probably not going to include you on this either, because you may have some access or knowledge of things that we don't have prior to this form. So again, your chance to win 20 packs for first place, 5 packs for second place for PT25. We'll award it on the Saturday, March 16th stream, the day after launch. We'll do our normal stream at 11 a.m. on Saturdays that we do in Rip and Packapalooza. And I don't know if we'll have any packs to rip, but we'll play around. So there you go. Thank you for all hanging out for that. Again, I'll be back this Saturday with our normal Rip and Packapalooza. I don't know how many packs we'll have. I'm not getting as many packs this week. But maybe we'll get about 150 packs or so we'll open on Saturday. And then on Sunday, and I know a couple people aren't streaming on Saturday, I think. But we'll be around Saturday to get your drops for PT24. And then Sunday, we're doing a grand send-off for the theme team crew. Are you allowed to stream from the beta? Yes. We did last year. I'm not aware of any thing. I'm planning to, my normal Wednesday stream next week, we're going to be playing around in the beta and showing off what we have in the beta on stream, and playing around and looking at things and showing off some of the new features. So that is our plan next Wednesday. This Sunday is our last theme teams of PT24 playoffs, this 2074 season. And we'll be going through the live look-ins at Silver, Gold, and Diamond. And if you're in another one of our leagues where you've got your theme teams all set up, then I'd be love to have you either on sharing some of your screen. I'm not sure how I do that, but we'll figure it out. Or at least giving us some updates in the Discord I'll be sharing on. And we'll just have a whole day hanging around. Yes, there was a Jets game where the green was exactly like the field color on the uniform. I remember that. And they couldn't discern how to play football at all. Wiz Nation, thank you, my friend. The colorblind folks couldn't see anything. They were all green and all red. I remember that. I remember that game. So anyway, that's kind of what's coming up the next couple days. Very excited. We are on the cusp of PT25. Out of the Park 25 coming through. Again, I want to thank... Holy cow. Darius just subscribed. Wait, no. Is this... Who's giving the gifts? Spore is giving subscriptions. Down River Rick, Escadillo, Cavicom, Darius A64, and Statsmonger have all gotten subscriptions. Thank you so much, Spore, for giving out the subscribers. Thank you so much to the Wiz Nation giving out the bits. Amazing. Holy cow, indeed. Thank you so much, Spore. I really appreciate it. And there's Statsmonger getting his gift. We're all kind of stacking up. So it is awesome. I appreciate you. And I cannot wait to see what Spore does with content this year. Again, we've got the guest set. See what's coming out. I cannot wait. Thank you, Mark. I'm glad you enjoy these. I sometimes wonder if I need to update these, but these are all our subscribers of the channel right now as of yesterday before the 5 that just came through. So that's right. The shout out of Sporter. I got to make you a mod. There are still 2 more packs to come out? Wiz Nation, what do you mean by that? I'm confused. But I'm intrigued. Yeah, I don't know what my points thing is, Hillside Robin. I think there's channel points, but I don't know how it all works. Anyway, thank you so much for subscribing, Spore, for gifting out to the community. You guys are awesome. I hope you enjoy as much as we have all this. And I'm going to hang out here. Dr. Dynastic's not coming on today. I was going to leave early for something, but it just got canceled. So I'm going to hang out here and do some other things. We'll take a look at the 5L. We'll take a look at some other online league stuff. I just want to give a shout out. It's just so many. I just counted. There are so many affiliates. There are 18 different affiliates. Yes, more drops for folks. I want to make sure everyone gets their full drops today. So I'll be hanging out. Make sure you can get your drops. And if you've got questions, just let me know. But yeah, we got to keep your drops coming. Got to keep your drops coming. Don't worry. But there are so many affiliates to follow. And now with drops, Don't Get the D-Block Dragon now has become a new affiliate. You can check him out Sundays at 8:30 a.m. Again, Spore, your schedule has been so crazy with fantasy coming through and all the new content. You have a few questions. Wiz? Go for it. I will try to give as many answers as I can. But again, if you haven't followed these guys, make sure you follow these. If you want to make sure you get drops at any time of the day, just go follow all these people, and you will have tons of drops come PT25 time. Yeah, March is tough for you to stream, I bet. There's a lot going on. Plus, are you feeling better? Shar taking care of you? Yeah, this is fever pitch time. It's definitely fever pitch time. So, Wiz, Your team is the Fort Myers in my league, and you're in first place. Congratulations. That's awesome. Excellent to hear, Spore. Glad you're feeling better. Um, what else you got, Wiz Nation? Congratulations on being in league in first place. How do you know you're doing this the right way? Well, um, I mean, do you mean like playing the game? I mean, if you have, it's an interesting thing, right? It's like, how do you go through and see how your team is doing? So let's go do this. Take a look at it and look at a team and seeing how you can kind of judge stuff. Yeah, I just lost the Laptown Lower Lounge. We'll take a look at that in a bit. So this is a team I'm running. This is the teammates of Ricky Henderson. And one of the things to look at is, and you have to remember, in PT25 when you start that, you need to constantly be updating your team throughout the cycle, right? Everybody is adding cards along with you. So you might be first place this week, but if you're not continuing to improve your team, other people are improving their teams alongside you. So how do you go through and make sure and improve your team? What are you going to focus on to improve your team? And one of the things I like to look at is your team stats rankings. Where are you compared to the other people in your conference in terms of ranking in a position? And so I am, for example, in this one, I'm first in zone rating and defense. Defense is an extremely important thing. I've got a great defensive club. My run scored is 7th, kind of middle of the pack. There's 15 teams in my conference. And my pitching runs against is in first. So right now, my team is 3 games out of first place, or 8 games out of first place, 3 games 500, but I've got good things across it. 25 errors. 25 errors. I'm 6th in errors. So you can go take a look and like who's messing up on your squad. You can go through and take a look at your fielding stats. Who's my error king? It's A-Rod. And I am very slow. So I am very slow. And again, I mean, you look at the ratings of these players. That's not batting stats. Let's go look at the batting ratings. All right, I've got some fast guys: Ricky Henderson, Joe Morgan, Paul Molitor. And typically, when you're looking at speed and stealing, though, you want to see speed lower than stealing, right? And that usually means you've got a good, like, if you have speed higher than stealing, that means you're going to try to attempt a lot of bases, but you're not going to be as successful. You're going to get thrown out a lot. So you want to have your speed, which is, again, a misnomer in the game, but it's how do you go through and figure out, well, how often do you attempt to steal a base? And then stealing is how successful you are at actually doing that. Now, I am slow, but one of the things I do like to do, again, looking at defense, if you've got a defense and you see your fielding ratings, if you see that your fielding ratings are really low in zone rating, I like to look at that and see who are my trouble spots in my roster. Do I have a shortstop that's not good? Do I have a second baseman that's not good in zone rating? And if that's a place where or a center fielder, right? Those are your key defensive slots. If I see that I have issues with those, then those are the places I'm going to be focusing on an upgrade and kind of targeting that to improve the team going forward. For catching, I like to look at framing rate, which you can't see historically, but you see Rick Wilkins is catching well. Dan Wilson is doing okay. That's one of my requests. This Dan Wilson was specifically because he was a teammate of Ricky Henderson, and one of the ones that Spore was able to do on the Treasure Trove. What are the managers in the trouble spot? Yeah, I have bad base running. So part of that, let me look at my global strategy. Now there is, some people said, this was something that I learned that was new, is that, and I probably should do this better, your base running can be done a little bit higher. It used to be like I'd go through and look at each individual's base running stats, and I would kind of reduce people that weren't base doing. But someone went through and did analysis and said that actually you should improve your base running in order to go through and improve your BSR rating. and that will make you less slow. So I had it pretty low. So let's go through. I've just updated the slider on that base running to kind of do that. So there's a lot of detail on this. There's so much intricate detail you can go through. So if there's a specific thing, Wiz Nation, that you want to set up, like one of the easiest things to do, and I say, like, if you want to, like this global strategy, I have some sliders in here. If you want to start early on to do some strategy, just choose sabermetric, or sabermetric, whatever the darn things. If you do sabermetric, you're able to go through and have a strategy that ties through all different points of the season. So if you choose sabermetric, that'll probably give you a good idea, a good strategy, right? Which is going to be using shifts more. It's going to be doing left-right matchups. It's not going to steal as much. It's not going to do sacrifice bunts or squeeze play. And that works for league play. When you're doing a tournament in like dead ball, you may do more squeeze bunts and bunt for hit and things like that. But for league play that you're talking about and improving a team, that's where I would look at. So again, my key thing is looking at, from a hitter standpoint, looking at defense is a key thing I look at. Like, I can have someone who's hitting the cover off the ball, but if he's bringing me a -8 zone rating and my zone ratings overall. So this is where you start. See where your weaknesses are in your team stats rankings. Then based on that, just deep dive a little bit more and figuring out where do I need to have help here. Like, I'm fine with a weighted on base average. I'd like to be a little higher. Like, my offense could be better, no question. We're okay. The pitching's been fine, not, first in bullpen ERA, and good defense, right? Pitching and defense wins, and you can get by with that without having the greatest offense. But from a run scoring standpoint, like, looking at my squad, I can then take a look at my batting stats here. And I'm going to do a split. Let's go look at the right-handed batting order. And I'm going to do a split versus right-handers. And I can see who's driving in good WAR and who's driving in negative WAR. Fred McGriff in my backup hitting 082, not exactly great. Dan Wilson, but they're backups. It's when your starter, Paul Molitor, here has got a .01, and I know Paul Spore loves Molitor. Paul loves Paul. But when you're looking at this, like, Paul Molitor is definitely a thing I have to upgrade. Holy cow! Chess! Giving 10 gift subs. Holy cow, indeed. Chess, you are awesome. Thank you, my friend. RK Brasi, Tony Napkins, Audio World, Sean Soul, I Drive Long, all getting brand new subscriptions. Thank you, my friend. 5 new subs. Chess, I appreciate you as well. Thank you so much, my friend. Holy cow, indeed. So here, as I was saying, what more holy cow? No. Paul Molitor needs an upgrade, right? He is not pulling it together, and probably defensively. He's not the greatest third baseman in the world. He's not horrible. He's not horrible. But this is why I have my card orders. Like, one of the few last teammates of Ricky that I have to go get is Adrian Beltre. I'm going to be saving up for a long time to try to get Adrian Beltre. Chess Safari, I hope you can keep your theme teams alive next season. It's hard. And I know you like to tinker and change. But, like, go with an easy one. Do your favorite, do a Boston Red Sox theme. Or do something, do a simple one to start. And everyone who's going to do theme teams, I say start with a simple one. Because it makes it something you can sustain and do easily that you go through. At least to start with. So, that's my high level piece. The other thing to take a look at, okay, so we've talked about, again, start off and figure out where your deficits are and focus your targets on those specific things. We looked at hitters specifically, where you can go through and take a look at the lineups and take a look at both their defensive stats and their hitting stats, right? We've talked about catchers. On the pitching side, when you're looking at stats, you're going to take a look a little bit more The all righties, all right-handed pitchers, right-handed batters. That makes it easy. That definitely makes it easier. It's about 67% of the card base, though. But make it happen. When looking at pitchers, I typically look at a couple different things. So, again, PBABIP is an extremely important part of the game, at least in PT24. We'll see what happens in PT25. But in PT24, I like to have my rotation typically in order of PBABIP. You see I've got Oral, Guidry, Brown, Fernando. And I probably should move Brown and Fernando around in the rotation. And then Tommy John's a little bit lower. Like, that is a quick and dirty way of just setting yourself up for some success. Again, you got to take a look at how much stuff and control you have as well. But PBABIP really drives a lot. And if you have high PBABIP, lots of home runs, you can get some home runs. So take a look at that. Too easy to spore Mountain Time Zone. Mountain Time Zone is a myth. That would definitely make it a little bit easier. Born in the Mountain Time Zone. So good stuff here. Where I'm sorry, I get sidetracked, but I enjoy the fun. And then looking at stats, if you look at especially your bullpen, which I'm not seeing here because that's pitching stats. In your bullpen, one of the things to take a look at, and again, not do splits here, but look at your bullpen and look at the shutdown performances and meltdown performances. And ideally, your bullpen, when you're seeing a player's ability against the competition they're playing this week, and you see that they have Agagne's got 14 shutdowns and only 1 meltdown in his 25 innings and pitched so far this season. He is a good person to have as my closer, right? He's having a stellar start to the season. Mike Hampton is my normal relief here, not so great. So I look at this a little bit to kind of judge a little microing. Like maybe Rich Gossage should start a little bit more. He's my second backup as closer. So just something else to look at from a stat to kind of see how things are going. And then on the main pitching stats one, I like to look at, FIP, just understanding. Again, I've got the best defense right in my conference, and I can see that the FIP is, FIP versus ERA lets you know how much that defense is kind of helping, right? Oral Hershiser, who is an extreme ground ball player. And again, you got to look at pitchers. If you've got extreme ground ball players, you need elite defense behind them to make them successful. And that's why Oral's got a 3.14 ERA. And again, his FIP, the fielding independent pitching, is a 4.36, right? So it's just a little bit of understanding who your players are. If you've got extreme fly ball players, it doesn't mean he's going to hit a lot of home runs. It just means he's got a lot of balls in the air and you need really elite defense in the outfield. And so that's just, again, looking at your team and figuring out what fits for what you need that you're going through. Wyoming is a very tough state. Yeah. The switch hitters are good. I know Kip's doing the Wichita switch hitters where all the hitters and pitchers are switch hitters. 48-12, very nice, Wiz Nation. Again, there's some lower level stuff where it's kind of nuts, right? Like if you're really intent in the game and you started PT24 in the last 2 weeks or so, you can pretty much sell and do things pretty quickly to get a lot of great players going. I did for fun. I thought I'd try one for fun. Yeah. So like you can do a lot of interesting things and compete pretty well at some low levels. Let me go switch out and show you this team I did just a couple weeks ago. And again, it's just kind of a fun little thing to do. And we'll pull a couple packs on this as well. And I call this team Just Having Funyuns. Well, Wiz Nation, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad Dr. D brought you in, and it is a lot of fun kind of coming up with your rosters and coming up with strategies and just optimizing a lot. But I'm super happy to have you here. And again, I learned everything I'm telling you right now from other streamers. So like Dr. Dynastic and others, and your kidneys and others before them. Like there's a lot of great people that just this community loves to help out, right? This is the Just Having Funyuns, and started from scratch a couple weeks ago, so we can see here. Let's see, my not here. No, yeah, I guess this is it. So started 4 weeks ago in Rookie, and we're here for a second week in Stone. And you know, the PT Elite cards are a great way to get through. The George Brett's been meta, but the PT Elite cards, I did get Arky Vaughn early on when it was cheap. Hey, Kamish, how you doing? Good to see you, my friend. Glad you were here. If you guys don't know, the Kamish, he runs a online league, the EMLB, and I'm sure you guys have seen him around, but you can always check him out. And let me show that off real here. You can see the FK Commission EMLB Tuesdays, Thursdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, and Sundays at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Online league and community. I've got a couple players in there, a lot of GMs. You should definitely check them out. So make sure you go and follow the Commish, which I have to go on this screen, I think, to do this right? S out. FKN Commish. Go check him out. And again, every now and then there's some racing for charity and other types of things. But the EMLB is one of the long-standing 20-plus years leagues using OOTP. And kind of fun to see your player in on the game of the week, etc. So shout out to the Commish and the EMLB. But yeah, there's some fun things like this Andrew McCutcheon. So the great thing is when you're late in the cycle, you kind of know the cards that have been really strong, and some of them are really cheap, like a Monty Ward. Excuse me, not William Contreras, but Monty Ward is going for like 26K and has stellar defense and can also pitch, and he can hit okay in the lower levels. So this is again Stone, and it's fun to kind of romp along in Stone as you go through. So yeah. So I mean, Wiz Nation, those are just some ideas of things. What else can I think of from like evaluating? You got your pitchers, you got your hitters. I showed you a couple stats to kind of optimize your pitching, and yeah, that's really it. And then just kind of looking at your different missions that you have and trying to be strategic about where you spend your perfect points. Doing this unlocks this, unlocks this. That's kind of a way to get there as you go through. Do announcers have cards? I have to tell you, I did do, and I can share with you. I might have this. Do I have the mics? Let me go offline and look here real quick. I think I have a team of players that that I did. All broadcaster. Here we go. So you're thinking about doing a theme team of people who have been broadcasters. I have a bunch of players who became broadcasting. I went through, did research. It's like Dan Wilson, Gary Carter. Jackie did broadcasting. This is PT25. So there's a lot of different players that I have, and I could share this with you, Chess, if you want to see some of the research. I went through and did a lot of like players who were in broadcasting at some point, which is kind of fun. Prepared for everything. I've done a lot of themes, and it's a fun theme. This was the Vince Scully's Golden Mics I did in PT23, and I could kind of see some of the different players that we had. So I'm happy to share, players you've got, like you've seen Pedro Martinez in broadcast, Kurt Schilling did some, Jim Cott, And there are some different links I found that had some stuff in Wikipedia that shows the broadcast teams for the current teams, which is kind of fun. I don't know if Gowdy played. Let's go see if Gowdy played or not. That Hank Gowdy? I don't know if that's the same Hank Gowdy. Born in 1889? No. But there was a Hank Gowdy, so you can kind of fudge it. Anyway. A Gowdy played. I know. I was just having fun. So yeah, that's what we're going on. Again, so many different affiliates to follow and go through. We've got so many people going stuff today. Also, again, yes, this I forget the sounds of New York City. I just ignore the sirens. I'm so used to them at that point. It's amazing. I have to tell you, when I travel and I'm in some quiet place, I'm good. Don't get the D-Block Dragon, but maybe we should put together a list and we can add it to. In the theme teams, we have a whole bunch of tools for people who want to make theme teams. So I'd be happy to kind of take your list and my list and put it in there for people to kind of use. That would be kind of cool. Don't get the D-Block Dragon. But we have, if you want to make a theme team, something you're excited about, like I did the Vin Scully's Golden Mics last year, which was fun. Again, PT25 is coming out. Well, Queens Boulevard's definitely, there's a lot of noise in Queens Boulevard, but you can buy 25 is coming out. We have things we know that are coming. Completely recoded rating system. Team chemistry in solo and perfect team modes coming through. Player development lab for the offline mode, the league mode, and then something for theme teams that's been coded by Marcus himself. We saw earlier, we did a little review of the new card opening screen, which is pretty cool. And we're going to learn more tonight. Rich Grisham being interviewed by our good friend Dr. Dynastic on at 8 o'clock tonight. I don't know if that's YouTube or the Mother Channel. Mothership, not Mother Channel. The Mothership, OTP Developments on Twitch. But we're going to see what the Hall of Fame partnership is going to look like. Some things potentially in the game that we'll get to see. Looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to seeing what kind of content Spore is going to put together. Our man Spore will be on Monday, 9 p.m., March 11th, on the OTP Developments channel, giving the preview of Perfect Team. And like he said, even he shows off cards, the ratings are not final until game launch. So things are going to continue to be tweaked. Don't read too much into what you see on screen. But there's going to be so many interesting things to see on Monday, March 11th at 9 p.m. I cannot wait for that to come out. And then, of course, Tuesday is the beta. You'll be able to play in the game if you've bought directly from OTP. So that link I showed, if you buy direct from them, you'll be able to play in the game. Just get a feel for it. Get yourself set up. You can make some screen, what I've done before, which doesn't get erased, you can make your screen views. For example, I have custom screen views that I do in the game. Let me show you some of this stuff. Let's see. So when I go through and look at it, I have some, when I'm managing my cards, roster management, you go to manage cards. I think, click. Hello, manage cards, there we go. And I can go through, and I have some preset filters, so I can go take a look at, only silver cards, for example. And again, you set up something like this, you can customize the filters, so I can say the overall rating is between 70 and 79, right? And then I also do this for selling. So there's certain cards that I'm going to sell silvers, right? And I basically say the overall is between 70 and 79. They're not in any missions, and the sell price is less than 121. Early on, I'll sell anything at just like a couple points over the quick sell price. But that allows me, again, to get a subset of lists that I can go through, and I usually turn on then duplicates, and I go through and just sell that at that rate, so I can quick sell and clear out cards and get some perfect points that way. But you can create some of your filters you want. I have this auction house live view, same type of thing, where I've created a view where again, the default looks like this. It's got the ratings in here, it's got reserves, etc. I like to look at, I create an auction house view, so I can see the cards that I have, the buy, the sell. I can rank, I can see what everyone's buying or not. These are all my dupes. So for example, this Julio Franco, it's a duplicate for me. It's selling for 256, the L10's 242, and I can go through and put in, well, I'm gonna do a little gougey, 333 to grab some more perfect points for this team because I have a duplicate for it. And it allows me to go through, oh cool. Yeah, if you whisper that to me, a Spore, I can copy and paste it so people can take a look at the custom views and things like that. I gotta give you, okay, you DM'd me? Cool. Let me pull that out. See if I can find it here. But this is a fun thing to do during, thank you, I'm gonna grab it now. Spore, again, our content manager has this for you here. So here is the link. And that'll allow you to go through and just see the things. So during the beta period, it's a good time to just get your setup. Get in the mode of selling, buying, create your views that work for you. Another thing that I've done in this view mode, again, I showed it to you before, I've got my lineups, right? And I have something called batting ratings detail. So I've gone through and I've got my BABIP, V left, BABIP, gap, power, I, and strikeouts. Because the base view, default you get, or even the batting ratings, just gives you just a couple things V left and V right. And I want to look at more detailed V left and V right so I can kind of understand, I like to search by, okay, here's BABIP, my number 2 hitter, I want more gap. Who's going to be my best number 2 hitter? Who's got the power and I combination for homers in my 3 and 4 spots? And who's got the speed and stealing that I want at the top of my lineup, right? And so those are the things that I kind of play around with. Here's Corbin Carroll, 106, 112, right, at the top of the lineup. And these are just a couple of views that you can kind of set up that helps you create something that allows you to do that. Again, it's really easy. You can just, add, edit columns, remove a column, move right and move left. And when you add a column, it shows the batting ratings. And you see I'm not using contact because BABIP is a little bit more detailed. Contact includes a combination of BABIP and I. And so I'm using BABIP, gap, power, I, and Ks to look at my batters back and forth. And then, so yeah, that's just a kind of thing. But one of the things I noticed in this is I don't have their handedness, and I added that in. So I added bats left or switch or right, so I had that there as well. And that's just a custom way of creating it, and setting that up during the beta period lets you ready at launch day, kind of going through and cleaning it up as you go through. So something you can do during the beta period, which is a kind of a fun thing to do. And again, it's been teased during the podcast. There'll be some things you can do right away. You have a Team in Stone League? Nice, Mr. Audit. It's kind of fun, right? So again, get in there, buy direct from the company, and you're able to get in the beta and play around a little bit. And I'll be doing a stream on Wednesday at my normal time, this noon to 2 time period. I'll be going through and showing off a little bit more of what the beta looks like and some of the new screens and the graphics. It's an exciting time to play. There'll be plenty of streamers on showing off the game, probably on Tuesday night and into Wednesday and Thursday. And then launch day, get in there and play like crazy on the 15th. Let's see, what else do I have on this list? I wanted to share, I'm in a 1960s online league. So this is a different mode of play. Again, we talk about Perfect Team all the time. And I got convinced to get into an online league this year for the first time. I've never done this before. And we started off in 1962. And this is, again, you see some names on here. We got Minerva in here doing the Cubs. I've got my Dodgers. TJ from the main channel is there running the Milwaukee Braves. T-Chuck's got the Phillies. Jerry Westside's running this league as our GM. or our league commissioner. The BF Bombers has got the Giants, Italati, Cass Cappy's in here. Nick, Doc Holliday is there. Spieler is playing the Detroit Tigers. Slibbard, the Doctor, OMG Puppy's got the Evil Empire Yankees next to Forrest. And it's a fun group. Again, first time playing through, so I'm in, it's 1965, and we are in a pennant race, which is crazy. We have one last sim. We do a sim a week. Excuse me, we do a week's worth of sims in one day, 5 sims a week. And it is, I am very happy that I'm finally better than TJ, beating his Milwaukee Braves there, but very tight race here in the NL with 7 games left to play. My Reds and my Dodgers are going head to head, and Jerry's Pittsburgh Pirates are there. And this is a crazy, crazy league this week. Of course, the Evil Empire Yankees have finally pulled ahead of the Washington Senators, but they're, again, just 2 games back and 8-2 over the last 10. So anything can happen here in the last sim, which is kind of nuts. And I've learned some things. We'll talk about that. But drafting, I drafted initially. I got Drysdale. I ended up trading him this season for Ken Boyer, who's put up some nice numbers. I needed some pop on this lineup, and Drysdale, was not as good as I hoped he'd be. And again, I've learned not to be a big fan of Dodgers. But I am playing the Reds the next 3 days. So when we come and sim again, when we come stream on Saturday, I'll give you an update on who ended up winning the pennants in each of those. But just some really interesting learning different players, and this is a non-recalc league, so it doesn't mean the name's going to exactly be the same as you go through. I drafted Davey Johnson as I needed second base defense. He's amazing. He's got some pop, so it really solidified my infield. Larry Jaster, who I'd never heard of before. I drafted him 30th overall, and he's been my ace. Allowed me to trade, basically. Let's go look at Larry Jaster, because I don't really know this guy. And I don't remember ever seeing this player in Perfect Team, although he may have a card. But Larry Jaster pitched for the St. Louis Cardinals starting in 1965 and had a stellar 1966, 3.26 ERA, 5 shutouts. Going 11-5, and was pretty good for about 3 years, and then fell off. And I'm not sure what happened there, but the Jaster Cardinals. Do you remember Jaster, Cubs fan 23 Steve? I do not. Again, I was 1 year old when Jaster, less than 1 year old when Jaster pitched. I was not born when Jaster started pitching. So there you go. And then kind of went to Montreal, and kind of just it ended at some point there. So he was 4th in the Rookie of the Year voting. He may get 1st in our league. And he's got this potential PBABIP. Again, PBABIP and the sim works really well. That helped me figure out that he might be a good player, and he's really taken off. He was on the 2 World Series teams, 1967, 1968. Let's go take a look at his postseason pitching. Got the ring in 1967, and he only pitched a third of an inning, giving up 2 hits, facing 3 batters. And in 1968, he didn't even get an inning. Boy, not a great postseason experience for Jaster. EVC Infant, there you go. I like that. Jaster got a card in 21. Interesting. So I just thought this was kind of fascinating. Again, part of the Rookie of Year in this year, and he, when you take a look at it, right? Did I miss it here? Did I hit the wrong year? Where's Jaster? Rookie of the Year. Here we go. Tommy Helms, Sonny Jackson, Tito Fuentes, Randy Hendley, and Larry Jaster and Cleon Jones, the last 3 all tying in there. They did have Gibson. Yeah, you didn't really need Jaster when you had Gibson. So we'll see. This is the great thing. Again, the game may sim and take a person a different way. It'll be interesting to see how online leagues like this deal with the new player lab that's coming through on PT25. But again, I've learned some things, some new things on this. So I'm excited. Dick Radis was one of the closer guys that I got. I was one of the early drafted Johnny Romano, Drysdale, and Raditz early, and they're still part of my core. And some previous seasons, a draft. This is, again, some details about this league. Our first draft was 1962. Sims 5 nights a week. Cover a season in about 2 months. So you get about 3 to 4 years, 4 to 5 years in a typical year. So it's a nice pace. You can kind of check out once a day. Expansion plan for 1969. So November, so we'll be adding teams. If you're interested in joining in, let us know. And a couple things I've learned. Drafts are kind of key to revamping a club. First round draft picks are gold. And the art of trading your picks or trading players for picks, I've definitely made mistakes. So it's an interesting thing to kind of like look at that. And when you're doing these kind of leagues, you can kind of see the seasoned abuse of the people that came. So for 1966, we can see the players that had their seasoned abuse in 1966, and kind of feel out how's that draft class going to help me or not. Old guys can still play deep into their 30s. Whitey Ford still fairly solid as a player in this build. Again, we can trade picks in this, so it's a little bit different, and that makes for more trading actually, which is good. You were at 1967 games 2 and number 7. No Larry Jaster. Jim Lomberg started both games for the Red Sox. Bob Gibson dominated game 7. Yeah, that was quite the series in 1967. But yeah, they let you trade picks, which is nice. TJ is a monster. He's crazy. He traded for like all the good players in the first. I had no idea what was going on. I felt like swimming with sharks that first season. But I'm slowly getting my sea legs. The OMG Puppies Yankees are still evil, empire-ish. And don't follow the name in a recalc league. I traded my first ever drafted player, Drysdale, this season to Minerva. So that happened. And your owner is just a soul-sucking cheapskate because you make all this money for him and then he just reduces your budget year over year. So, what? So I'm learning all this stuff, which is kind of crazy. The GM mode, running a league, an online league, is pretty fun. I should check it out. I also, again, I've talked about I've got players in the EMLB. I've now joined the PBE. My Enrique Von Caliente. Kind of a second baseman in the mold of Mookie Betts, now a second baseman. A balanced archetype I'm working on, so trying that for Anchorage Wheelers. And very excited. So, a little global warming expected in the Anchorage area with the Caliente happening. And of course, I got to continue to just bring on the heat. So if you want to get in and have some fun with this, it's something different. Check out the PBE. That is their Discord, which I screwed up the link again. Let me see if I can do that in a way. Yeah, Attica's got his player max power in there. Let's see. That's the link to PBE if you want to go check out the PBE Discord and get a player started for one of their next seasons. But we're in Rookie League and learning all the things and doing all the different tasks and stuff, and I'm excited. I'm excited to see how it goes. I like the way the league is doing, and I'll have to check out your player, Tedford Woodington. Oh, and Max Power is retiring this after the season. I find it fascinating the relegation that happens. Not relegation. Yeah, it's relegation. Degradation of your player over time as you get to a certain age and how much you can go up and down. So, it's kind of a regression. Thank you. I knew there was a word. So it's kind of fun figuring all that stuff out. Definitely, if you decide to join, there are many people who are going to help you figure out all the ropes. I've created a checklist of things I got to do to keep it going. But check out the PBE. That's kind of fun. While we're hanging out, yeah, it's a great community. It's fun. I enjoyed watching was the Dahini Classic last night. I didn't realize that was happening, so I missed out on getting in on that. I bet it looked like fun. Yeah, it's kind of a fun way and not too overly crazy as far as tasks you have to do and things like that to keep your player upgraded. But it's just, again, the beauty of OTP and everyone's different creativity and making different universes around it. It's astounding to me how many different ways of playing this game there are. You can definitely go down so many different rabbit holes and spend a lot of time. And I suggest just starting with something you enjoy and then every now and then delving and trying something else and see if it's right for you. But I know some people who've gone away from doing Perfect Team and love doing online leagues instead, and the back and forth of trades and whatnot. And it's really, to me, it's just like, how much time can I actually spend or give to different things? But in between the PT24 and PT25, thought I'd give the PBE a try, and it's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun so far. So looking forward to building up my character and hopefully getting up and helping some teams win. The laptop's lower level leisure lounge, the 5L as it is known. Let's go check out the lounge and see what happened today, because it looks like I got booted out. I lost to Don't Get the D-Block Dragon, I think. Let's go out again. Let me go switch over. Guys, how y'all doing? Are you excited? Are you psyched? What is something you are most excited for PT25 coming through? By the way, we've been doing a guess set. If you're just joining us, if you missed it earlier, your chance to win here is in the Guess the Set contest. The form is there in chat. Let's see. Can I pin that? I will. I think I can pin that. There you go. That's there for you in chat. So in case you want to go through and guess, there is the link so you can get in on the contest. You got to guess what's going to be coming out in the PT25 launch day content. And if you guess correctly and you get the most correct, you can win 20 PT25 packs. We'll be rewarding on the 16th. I don't know why that's still there. There we go. Can that disappear on my screen? No, it's going to just sit there. You know, I love, let's see. Can I click on it? Can you click it? Interact. Thank you. That's better. There we go. Exclamation mark professional. You know, every now and then I start to figure out what I'm doing. Every now and then. Not very often, but every now and then. We were going to go take a look at the lower laptop lounge. And let's see how we are. We're about 2 hours into, I can never say the name right? What is it? It's the laptop's lower level leisure lounge, the 5L for short. Oh, I meant to open those packs. You can do that a little bit later. Let's see. Oh, click the wrong thing. And we'll also draft today's the next one. About a little of the cards, but let's take a look at where we are in the playoffs right now in the 5L. I'm just gonna say 5L. And I keep wanting to say lower. Copying those team graphics. So, yeah, if you guys are looking for anything else, if you have more questions or anything, happy to answer. Oh, man, I got smoked. 5 straight by the Wichita Eagles. Let's go take a look at the tournament tree. And we are in round 2. Looking like the Rocky Mountain Gladiators of Laptop is going to get smoked here. There's by the Mansfield Falcons, don't know that. The Geo, sometimes it rolls over. There's Leo Remus's, North Halliday's, all teammates of, he's got a theme team, all teammates of Roy Halladay and Jose Bautista tied up there in the second round. The Beachport Blue Hornets are taking down Charles, it looks like. The Rocket City Trash Pandas are up on the Bail Bonds Bears, Chico's Bail Bond Bears, of course. The Pub Goers of Andy with Sheffield, facing off against the Tippecanoe Terrors. We've got the B-Town Nasty Boys and the Manchester Worker Bees, the Cake Testers and the Detroiters. I believe that is one of Spore's teams. We got the Yana Yahi versus the Bums. The Jokerfish versus the Ariana Grande. I said Ariana Grande. The Ariana Grande Big Streams. Come in and watch. National Dodgers, just the Hoosman going nuts there. And the Denver Bel Airs, taking on the Denver Bel Airs, who took me out yesterday. The Huskies and the Knights going at it. The Washington Park Rangers and the Wabanaki Passamaquoddies. The Spiders with the Eagles. Eagles winning that one. And again, the Starfleet red shirts. Ezra getting swept by the Pittsburgh Blue Bombers. So tough day. I don't see Doctor. Don't go out the D-Block Dragon. Where are you? I don't see you here. I think that's Minerva getting ousted in the first round. Lops going down. So let's go through. We're gonna draft today's team. That was an ugly team. Wichita Eagles is your main team. I did not know that. So let's go through and draft today's team. Hopefully you guys are getting all your drops. Where are you, laptop hound? There we go. Signing up. So let's get this, let's see if we can have some luck today. Again, now it feels like there's just so much luck involved to kind of get these teams going. The Wichita Eagle is a day-late newspaper in Wichita. There you go. I did not know that. Does the owner of the Wichita Eagle newspaper own the baseball team? Do. Great to have you all here. Getting excited for PT25. How many entries do we have in right now on the... got 27 entries so far. Very exciting. So, here we go. Looking for names. And this is a part where you memorize different players. See, now, this is where I'd almost take Kyle Higgins. I remember very early on when doing bronze tournaments, at the very beginning of the cycle, Kyle Higashioka was really great with the power and decent defense at catcher, which is great. So I think Mike Hergen in right or first. Very nice V right stats there. It's kind of a no-brainer there. What does Jim Hughes look like? Not horrible. 71 and 80 on the P-BABIP. Nice V right. A little splitty. And I believe that Ted Shaw is very good. Yeah. I'm going to go with Jim Hughes here. Because no one else really stands out to me as someone I'm going to grab right now. So, Adam Everett is my shortstop. I love the defense there. Dave Parker. I don't remember this bronze card. Not the greatest eye to go with that power. Some decent BABIP. Not the greatest defense in right field. Is Dave Parker a pretty new card? Willie Bobo. Steve Wilson. There's nothing here. I'm going to take Steve Wilson with that high P-BABIP. Parker is new. I just don't... Again, the V left is interesting, but... McIntyre, huh? Yeah, the eye is nice. I like that. Yeah, Parker's glove is not great. I'm going to stick with Wilson. I'm a sucker for P-BABIP and stuff combos. Yeah, the iron glove is good. I'm also kind of like, I like to make sure I've got hitters and... okay, you convinced me. Hey, you're back-to-back winners of this thing. I'm not. Okay, the Clay Buchholz. Again, I'm a sucker for P-BABIP. It's just a thing. Escobar seems pretty new as well. Not stellar, but solid. Oh, I'm sorry, man. Were you out in the first round? I didn't see you there, but I was going fast. Nothing else really excites me in this round. Eye is nice. Yeah, Escobar is calling my name, so we'll roll with that. The park for this one. Let's go take a look. How much do you think the park has an impact? I mean, we're definitely having suppressed home runs, um, some doubles and triples, so dead ball-y feel to it. So power's not going to be as important. But speaking of which, there's Dale Murphy. Gonna take Dale Murphy, and I think I have to take Bob Welch here. That's kind of the combo. The Welch got slammed from me the other day. I said Buck Holtz, didn't I? Buckles? Yeah, I don't think it's interesting. So, yeah, since home runs are suppressed, I feel much more comfortable with Bob Welch. Again, I'm a PBAP lover. And, yeah, I'm going to go with that. Yeah, it's Buck Holtz. It's Buck Holtz. But, I mean, if you're saying it fast, it could sound like Buckles. No on Brian Harper. No defense there. Kevin Gregg not making me excited. No. P-Babbitt's a no for me on that one. David DeJesus. Jack McDowell. Not great, but compared to what else I have here, not gonna like this one. I can't do Ed Glenn. And then live cards. Oof. I am not loving this round. I've done Mejia just before. I need a catcher late. Elvis Andrus. Matt Reynolds is the only other one because he can just play all over the place and covers me at first, second, third, short, and left in a pinch. And the eye and Babbitt are not bad. So, she pronounced her name Buckles? That's interesting. Gonna go with that. Okay, I'm always, this shiny Dale Berra here. The limited edition cards always make my eyes look. I like the Pat Deasley. I will take a Lucas Giolito live card every now and then. Again, going to give up homers, I know, but we're in a homer suppressed park. Billy Butler in his home park. I've got Dale Murphy already. Cantwell. Laptop Hound! How are you, my friend? I made a new graphic for you. Laptop's lower level leisure lounge. Didn't make it very far today. I'm feeling Deasley and but I'm also feeling Giolito here. Oh, tomorrow you're showing the best performing cards of February? Nice. I'm gonna do that. Gonna grab myself a catcher just in case. Okay. I got plenty coming though. Dan Petrie. I like that. Muddy's decent defense, not the greatest bat, but not horrible at all. Ryan Friel just gives me the Friels. I like versatility on that. I'm gonna take him, and probably missing out on Milner. No, a little too low in both control and stuff for my liking. Early win. Not the early win you think he is. I mean, he is, but not as great as the name. Elster, no. Yeah, feels great in all the backup position. I agree. What was that? That was not good. Oh, Romero's good. No, he's not great. Man, I am. Wow. I might take Shintaro 372 on the P-BABIP. And Nick Punto. Horrible bat. But, again, I'm going to take lots of defense here. I really need a center fielder. Maybe you guys play center field? Cooper Hummel. No, you can't play center field. McCormick. I'm not excited about McCormick. Ugly round. When you don't know, take the live Oriole in bronze. They tend to be pretty good. It's not a bad call. Fortunately, I'm an iron. I'm going to go with Nick Punto. Even though I've already got a second. Well, it might be better in second base. Let's go take a look around. One of the things I like to take a look around just to keep my eye on the clock and where everything is. I like to take a look at what everything's done. I love how they put Dale Murphy behind Butler here at first base. Got to have that power in. So I've got backups, but I could use another outfielder. I could use a real center fielder versus the 69 center field defense I've got going there. And I need a second real catcher because I don't want to have Murphy catching if I can help it. And some pitching would be good. I'm not doing that. I'm pretty sure Flanagan plays. Just going to check. Yeah, Flanagan will be on the squad. Johnny Estrada. Interesting. There is some guy who can play some center field. Yeah, no, he was definitely one of my iron plays, an early iron. He's got the power eye combination. He's got good speed stealing. He's got stellar defense. So from a live card, I like the Brett Phillips a good deal. So let's roll with that. I've got 4 more catchers. This is Laptop's favorite, Shane Halter. Really? You like Shane Halter? I guess if he left, he's very nice. Wow. That's nice. That is nice. Again, I've got 7 pitchers after 9 rounds, so you can back up catcher too? You can. I guess maybe I don't need another catcher. I can just roll with those 2 guys backing up. The question is, do I have something good to go on here? Bill Pacoda. I didn't need another third baseman like a hole in the head. What do you guys think of the Oswald Cabrera? I always like that. Yeah, as a bench option, I agree. He's not a great hitter. Yeah. But I've done the same. I've used him before of just like backing up some outfield. Is there anyone else with a better bat in this? Am I missing out on Icebox Chamberlain? Not horrible for this late in the draft, actually. Again, a little lower PBAP than I typically like. Come on, Shane, stay there. Oh, but do I go nuts? Go Brian Harvey? Yeah, I'm gonna go with Icebox. Harvey scares me a little too much. Roland in the office. Tim Raines. Lou Drill. Balboni. Burrows. McGriff. Is this the McGriff that's super splitty? He is. V-right. Decent. But I'm playing these guys at first base, so that's not really helpful. I could use an outfielder, I guess. We have pinch running here? Not really. Eek. Kopech had a decent season. 82. See, this is the kind of stuff I'll go after. Again, with a home run in Kauffman Field being suppressed and a really good P-BABIP, Kopech is actually a good call for this matchup. No. Man, it's just clicking is going so slow today. I've got 8 pitchers. This will be 9. I'm thinking Caprillion, or I'm thinking Florial. Yeah. Probably Florial. Go to main. Settings. Click OK. Get the defense in there. Okay, come on, pitchers. I remember Anthony Young not having the best. Thank you very much. That's interesting. Is it just kind of refresh something when you do that? Lefty Grove. Think Young for sure. Why are you sold on Young though? I look at this and I'm like, yeah, it's kind of mediocre all over the place. Do you go with the wit? I think the wit. Oh, I'm gonna walk so many players. Nice. Yeah, no, I remember it. That's interesting. Yeah, I think I go with wit. Because I don't think I'm going to get very many good pitchers in round 13. But I could be wrong. Usually I'm an Eric Davis fan. I could take an actual catcher this time. And I think Severid's kind of a nice little actual catcher who can catch. I've got 10, 11. One more pitcher. Do you guys do Ujdur? Because I like the vibes of the P-BABIP up here. It seems pretty good at this level. Tiger. Tiger for the win. Jed Cool, Eddie Lake. Oh, Biggio. Is this the good Biggio? Be right. That Biggio's nice and can catch. Goodbye, Hank. We're taking Beige. Totally missed that. Okay. So I think that does it. 3 minutes to spare. And now these are the, again, I'm interested in seeing, you've got Spore who's won a couple. We've got Laptop on here. We've got the Black Dragon. And, I want to know if I'm doing the right thing. So I have my own import I use for all perfect teams, which is probably the wrong thing. I probably should have slightly different things. I have very long, I have 95 pitch counts. I have 95 fatigue settings. I do 8th inning, leading by 3 runs or less. Just do some defensive things if I've got that. In pitching, I go into pitching ratings detail. And I look at the control levels. And people, what I've learned is futzing around with control is that it's relative to everybody else in your league, right? So when you do sliders, it should be relative. So in this league and you're doing lower level, like to have a control in the high 60s, low 70s to, the 50s is probably the average. And then when you have someone just a slightly above average, like Welch, then I go through and do, come on. set game strategy, and I can go through and look at Welch here, and I can do like 1 over on that. It's EVC and NYC bringing you the sounds of New York City, doing the 5L draft today. Yeah, you extend pitch counts. Yeah, I'm going to do that too, on each individual. Someone else taught me something that I kind of do. And then I went down here, and again, these are fine, but when I start getting down into the 30s, I'll do a pitch around a little bit less, extreme fly ball. And then, again, for wit, a little bit more like that. And then I'm looking at my pitching. I'm going to look at my P-BABIP as my guide. Buckholz, Welch with the P-BABIP and good control. Dan Petrie. They have Jack McDowell here. So Jack McDowell, to me, is not a guy I definitely I want to have starting. Like Flanagan looks much better than Jack McDowell. So this is a place where Jack McDowell, they put him in as the second starter on this, and I'm not doing that. I could look at Michael Kopech, who also, again, just because I think if we think home runs are depressed, he might be a better than Flanagan or the Icebox. But that's close. I think he's going to serve me better as a closer. Maybe I'm nuts. But I think that with the stuff and the P-BABIP, I'm going to walk some guys, but I think he's going to be a better person as my closer than Jim Hughes. Put all these guys in the middle relief and then move accordingly. So I do that with P-BABIP. And then I look at anybody else here with decent stamina. Yeah, I think this is it. Jim Hughes has got nice stuff. We're just going to play up in the bullpen. And a little splitty, but not horrible. So Jim Hughes is going to be my use more often. And I'm actually... Bobby Witt scares me a little bit. But... yeah, no, I think it is for Kauffman Stadium. I think he's great. I just don't know if he's starter. And then what I do is I'm looking at him versus like I'm wasting Icebox Chamberlain 84-90 versus 76-71. I might be. And then the question is, so now does that become my closer? Maybe. Jim Hughes is my closer. Okay, going back to my P-BABIP. Man, I really like... I think Kopech is going to be my number 2 starter in this. We'll see if that works. Really interesting. I wouldn't really have thought of him that much, but... oh, it'd be nice if the Royals would actually get him. Yeah. One of the things I've learned on this, though, when I'm doing strategy for Bobby Witt is, like, I don't go all the way. Like, I think extremes create really bad things. So I'll never go all the way to the edge on a slider. And that's just maybe me being... Kopech. Sorry. What did I say? CPAC? Kopech. That makes much more sense. Michael Kopech. So yeah, I'm futzing with this a little bit. But that's probably where I'm going. Is there anybody else that I think should be my... Jim Hughes closer, and Fujinami more often. Oh no, trust me, I appreciate the pronunciation fixes as well, man, because I'm definitely all over the place. Okay, so now we're gonna do our wonderful batting squad here. Biggio needs to start somehow in this game. And Biggio can play left. And where's McIntyre? Biggio can play left and center. McIntyre can play just left. And yeah, I think Biggio's going to play in center field. Because why not? do this. We're going to put Phillips in as the defensive replacement. Biggio in center. And Matt Reynolds. So I like looking through to see who in my BABIP is not in the lineup. So I got Nick Punto at second because the 105 defense at second base. So he's kind of my low man. Because he's my low man, but he also has good speed and stealing, I like to put him in the 9 slot to kind of hopefully turn over the lineup. Looking at, Escobar didn't get in. Shane Halter or Escobar? I think, let's go take a look at these two real quick. Escobar versus Shane Halter at third base. V right. Oh, Escobar does not have the PBABIP. What was I looking at? I was looking at gap. Fair enough. Okay. That's my problem. Dr. Dynastic, no problems. I didn't know you were going to go today, but I ended up, my meeting got canceled, so I decided to just keep going. So if you're going to fire up, let me know. I'll go into you, because this is kind of my end of my content range. So let's look at my power guys. It's, wow, Butler. Dale Murphy, oh. I think I can put Dale Murphy in for Butler. Great. Dale's going to be my number 3 hitter. Hegan I like a lot. He's going to be my number 4 hitter. We've got Everett in the 2-hole, and we've got McIntyre in the 1-hole. And I'm going to swap that. A lot of fixes here. What else we got? What else are we doing here, guys? Anything else I'm missing? Like I should be totally thinking through more. Leon Wagner. Lion Wagner. Yeah, I think that is good. V right. I feel pretty good. Billy Butler is going to be my first one out. Yeah, man. Woody Mees. Woody Mees. There we go. So, there we go. V left. Same spiel. Different tracks. Again, I think Dale Murphy over Butler. Dale Murphy with the power and eye combo. Oh, Butler's got the better Billy and eye. Look at that. Do I make Murphy my catcher, V right? Doesn't seem like a very smart thing to do. Okay. Butler in 3-hole. Shane Halter. I like Shane Halter in the 2-hole a little bit just because of the high gap. I'm a big gap guy. I like gap. Here is where Escobar is better than Halter or not. They're really similar. Deep, I think it's Shmee fence, exactly. One more time. V left. 85 P BABIP, or BABIP, excuse me. 95 power, 67 power. The eye sucks for both of them. Shane Halter. Interesting. Okay. Shane Halter, I'm going to put you in the 2-hole because I like doubles in my 2-hole. Billy Butler hitting, and then P. Babbitt, who's my best overall kind of hitter, would be Butler again. It's a shame I can't play Murphy and Butler. God, do I really want to do this? Deasley. Really tough choices. I'm not excited by anybody else. Well, Halter can play elsewhere, right? Where can Halter play? Second, third, short. He can play everywhere. So who's my worst player right now? Punto, right? And what's Halter's defense at second? That'll play. I should be doing that for both of them, shouldn't I? Let's go Escobar here. We'll pull Halter in at second base. Matt Reynolds, yeah. I can do this for hours. This is not good, is it? Interesting. Okay. Is Escobar a better two-hole or is Halter? I'm going to Halter and put Escobar in at the 4. And then Ryan Friel in the number 9. He's going to lead off. Really? He's going to lead off? Should Pat Deasley lead off? Man, this is like so off of what the AI was giving me. So Pat Deasley's got speed. He can get on base. Halter's got the doubles power there. Then we're going with Billy Butler with the power and eye combination slightly better than Dale Murphy's. Then we're going with Escobar. And then we've just got some leftovers. And Ryan Field switching it over. And now that I've done that, Dale Murphy, Matt Reynolds, Nick Punto is the same defense, right? Let's go take a look at this one more time. I think Halter in at second base. Anyway, that's how my brain thinks. I don't know if this is helpful for people, if people go through and look at things slightly differently, but I always learn from other people doing things, and I thought it was kind of fascinating to learn different strategies and how to move stuff around. So hopefully this has been a little interesting for folks, but I can never tell. Let's go Halter at second. Cool. Now, don't get the Deep Black Dragon and Spore have to tell me what I do wrong. Like, what's wrong with my way of thinking? Probably everything, but that's a whole other story. Butler, Reynolds, Biggio is in already. Oh, Biggio. Where's Biggio on this wonderful world of things? Biggio should be in the 2-hole. Yeah, I guess I was better view right if he left. Yeah, Halter's interesting. Maybe Biggio should lead off, actually. I've got Adam Everett, and I've got Keegan. Yeah, let's do that. Keegan. Maybe Marty McIntyre. I'm gonna put. Just keep moving things around. And then Shane Halter, where are you? Yeah, Halter's okay. Not as great. Is Matt Reynolds better at third base? I think Reynolds is going to be better than Halter. So interesting. Oh, but Escobar. Ah, my brains. I'm done. I'm done! Super, super interesting. Can Halter steal? Not really. Let's put Everett in that hole down here. Okay. Wackiness. Yeah, my brain be damaged too. That was there were too many this is the thing, like you can spend so much time. I love doing perfect drafts, but they take so much time. If you're doing like all these machinations, and I can definitely find myself going down a rabbit hole like this, which is crazy. He is better as McIntyre v left. I'm confused by that. Halter's better than McIntyre v left. Yeah. I feel pretty good about this lineup. We shall see tomorrow in the perfect draft. So, guys, thank you so much for hanging out. Let's see. What do I got? Some closing notes. That was the Laptown Lower Lounge. We'll go on over to Dr. Dynastic here tonight or later today. Dr. Dynastic is coming up next. We'll get him in, and then he's going to be streaming into Sweegie with his Rocky builds at 5:30. Nersha Bianco is on with the Major League Managers at 7. And Attica Online starts tonight with his huge new universe, the TLDR, the Timeline Diamond Rewind Baseball League. And go check him out later tonight on on his channel. If you guys missed it, if you're just joining us, again, there's just so many different affiliates to follow. You get your drops, get all set up. If you don't know how to do drops, if you've never done it before, you can get drops, get some things for your team going now. This is how you set it up for PT24. We'll have new links for PT25. I'm sure it's the same thing, I think. I think once you're connected, you're good. And we'll just switch on over and things will be done through. But these are all the affiliates going all over the place. Follow these folks. Guess the set. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. This is the guess the set link. And let me go through. Can I pin from here? I can pin from here. Look at that. Pin this message. And done, I think. There's the guess the set, so make sure you get in on that while you can. Again, your chance to win some packs in PT25. And again, this is what we're doing. We'll be back on Saturday. We'll see how I did it in the 1960s Online League. We're back at 11 a.m. doing Rip Packapalooza and showing those results. Sunday, the last PT24 theme team playoffs 2074. We'll do some live look-ins noon until the playoffs are over. My wife is going to kill me. But hopefully you'll be along for the ride if you want to hang out, watch some different playoff teams, talk about theme teams. If you are in a theme team, if you haven't done it yet, please, let's see, TTC 24 wrap. Please get your links in on that. And let us know about the theme team experience you've had so far. Let us know who your favorite theme teams were for PT24. We'll be doing some highlights of those theme teams between different playoff games on that Sunday. And again, love to have you hang out with us this coming weekend. And then we'll be back for the beta. No stream on Monday this week since I'll be doing the playoff streamathon on Sunday. And then on Wednesday next week, we'll be playing around in the beta, showing off the new PT25. If you have not gotten a chance to buy it yet, check out this link here. Get ready for PT25 launching before you know it. And that's it, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out today. Appreciate you all chilling with me today. And, there it is again. Can I do that? Can I interact? How can I interact with that? Let's see. I'm going to click on that. I'm going to interact. Twitch, why do you do this stuff? There you go. That's that's it. Guys, thank you so much. Let's go right over to Dr. Dynastic. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for Chess for all the subscriptions, Spore for gifting subscriptions to the channel. You guys are freaking awesome. Really appreciate you all. Cubs fan Steve, thank you for being here. My longest term subscriber. Enjoy your Ryan Sandberg emote. And let's go find Dr. Dynastic and get this party started. There he is, Dr. Dynastic. Psst, if he's doing a thing, he's wearing a suit today. He's business casual. Thank you, everyone. I'll see you all on Saturday. Have a great weekend. Look forward to Hall of Fame later tonight at 8 p.m. on the Mothership. And I'll talk to you all soon. Bye, gang. Where's the button? Right now. Oh, no. I can't find it. Where'd it go? I can't click on it. Seriously. Interact. Raid now. Exclamation point professional. Did it work? Oh my gosh. Never dull. Never dull.